All right, welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is Saint Kramer. We're Brandman Brandon over here, Brian the Grizzly over there, and these guys are going to review Craven. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see it this weekend. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, from what I heard. But these guys saw it, so we're going to get into our ratings, likes, our dislikes, and everything kind of in between. So we'll start off with Brian with giving us a synopsis of what this movie's about.
Sure. Craven's complex relationship with his ruthless father starts him down the path of vengeance, motivating him to become not only the greatest hunter in the world, but also one of its most feared.
Okay. So
That's what happened.
yeah, okay. Take it. So we'll get into our likes and we'll start with Brand man. What you like about Craven the Hunter?
To be fair to the movie, from an action standpoint, I liked the action sequences. I thought that it was a fun watch in that regard. It didn't shy away from the gore factor or from the blood factor, which I think was pretty good if you're doing a solo film with Craven the Hunter. The acting was pretty competent. Aaron Taylor Johnson, I don't think I've seen a bad performance out of him. Um, Ariana DeBose was solid in it. Russell Crowe was pretty good. The
I thought
actor,
those calls really good. I
yeah,
enjoyed
the actor who played Craven's brother. I think his first
Dimitri,
name's like Fred. Yeah, I
Fred
think.
Hattinger.
Yeah, yeah. However, yeah, if that's how you say his last name, definitely. So, Alessandro Nivola was pretty good. So there were, as much as I rag on this movie, it wasn't without its merits in that regard. I have to be fair to it.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Brian? What you like about it?
The idea, like they had
Just the idea.
a great idea, right? But the problem was when we have a good idea, you actually had to write behind it, and that was where it off with the shit. But the idea of this was really good. I mean, they had some really good actors doing some good jobs. That's they know how to the idea of how to put a movie together. That's never been the problem. The problem is they're doing. Brandman was talking about off screen. Yeah, doing it without a Spider-Man character, doing it, without thinking about detailed writing. And some of the writing was so bad. It was just I could get on the bad later, but
I know, supposed to be the good stuff.
it's so bad. Oh, but no, I thought that Aaron Taylor Johnson is Craven. That was perfect. The casting for him and him being in a Spider-Man movie would be awesome. Really, I understood the love for his brother. I understood all of those things, and I didn't roll my eyes at any of the acting. So that those are good things. It was beautiful. A lot of scenes were really beautiful. Were really cool seeing these animals in that way. They definitely had something by it. What was okay. Like something about it was just like I was drawn in, and I never wanted to get up and walk out of the theater. So that's a good thing, right? Battle Web. I wanted to walk out of the theater like 35 minutes into. I was done. I never felt that way with this movie. I felt like it was okay. So yeah, the best thing I could say about it is it was okay.
It's okay. All right. Well, Brian already kind of started with some of the dislikes.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I'm sure there's many. But we'll go to Brandman. What were some dislikes for you?
The fact that they called it Craven the Hunter, I think, was my hang up with it. They just it went the progressively annoying route of taking a villain and saying, "Oh, the villain's not so bad." I that's getting to be a very tired trope for me, and I think had they leaned into the more villainous aspect of Craven, but the problem is, I bet they didn't want to do that because there's no Spider-Man in their villain verse movies, so they backed themselves into a corner in that regard. I think that, like I said, even though I thought Ariana DeBose did a pretty good job acting wise, her character was also kind of flat. I thought. I also think that the ending was a rush job with with Chameleon showing up and being like, "Oh, stop pretending like you're not a villain. You are a villain." But the entire movie was basically saying the rest of the movie leading up until was clearly saying otherwise, I thought. And just kind of, making him an animal protector, an animal activist, I think just really that was their easy way out, because they really want you to believe that this interpretation of Craven is a villain, but at the same time, the rest of the movie is clearly trying to hammer home the fact that he's not.
Mm.
So, I thought they played it too safe in that regard.
Yeah. That was one of the worries I had going into it, is like how good of a good guy is he going to be, and how villainous is he going to be?
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're going to hit that right. So, okay. Brian, what else you got? Some of your dislikes.
So, all right. There's a lot to not like, and most of it goes with the writing was putrid. I mean, the words they're saying, the things that they actually had to have in a script were terrible. Like it doesn't even follow logical conversation. It's
Oh, damn.
stupid. Like sometimes they're talking, and you're like, that's not even the next thing I will say. Why would you even say that? I felt like that in itself, the writing part was bad. And the acting is they're trying to make the best of it, but it seemed like the script itself wasn't good. Like it wasn't thought out all the way. The things that were happening in the movie just didn't match up, didn't make sense. The idea for him being this great hunter didn't make sense. Like he didn't learn any of this stuff, so all of a sudden he just got it out of osmosis. That was weird.
Oh,
Having
really?
all these other doctors, the Dr. Miles Warren, so he turns into, or having the Chameleon or the Rhino and all these other villains that they're name dropping all throughout the movie the entire time. But why would you do that if you know this is the last one? It didn't make sense to be name dropping these people in a movie that's about Spider-Man that's not about Spider-Man. And I think that started to really get on my nerves when especially when they said Miles Warren. That really got on my nerves. I was like, why are you going to drop the Jackal now?
Right.
What are we doing right now? Why are we doing that?
Was that like one of those things where they name dropped and kind of it felt like they just kind of looked at the camera yeah, was it like that?
Why are we doing this right there? That bothered me in itself too, and I knew that what was brother there with what they were going with, with the Chameleons thing. I saw that coming because they kept on doing the same trope over and over and over again, right? The same one. It's like, okay, I'm even going to pretend to change my voice. I can do it. I can sound like anybody. Like, shut up. It started to get annoying, but they had pieces there that could have been really good. Like the idea with getting him to be a villain. I feel like he still was a villain because he's killing everybody. He really was killing. He was killing a lot of people from the beginning. But they had a way to get him to the Kraven from Kraven's Last Hunt, and they just didn't do it. Even the way when he got his vest was very stupid, and I just thought that was just ludicrous. Like, why would you do it then? And you had that for a year. What are you doing? None of the stuff made sense. It's like they only talked at once a year, but he had a phone that he answered every time he called him. Like the stuff just doesn't make sense, right? Like logically, you like that. If this is your favorite person in the world, why wouldn't you just answer if they called you? It was a lot of things like that that just didn't make fit together.
Yeah. Like nothing felt. Oh, my bad. Nothing felt real world like.
This wouldn't happen
Especially if
naturally.
you said the conversations just felt unnatural. That's one of the worst things you could do. Like it's for me because if everything feels so weird, it's just
It
that
was
sucks.
like, Brandman, I don't know if you feel like this, but the Rhino was like, man, my skin is so like, so bad that all of a sudden just turns into like this impenetrable armor. And
Yeah.
when I get myself the shot, I'm good to go. Like,
Yeah.
what? Thanks, Mega Shake. Like I was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. It's basically a weaponized rash.
Exactly. I was like, what?
Weaponized rash.
What is this? This is where we're going? This is what we're doing. So, and then it still didn't explain why, I understood his skin, then why did he get horns? Like, what? Like, none of that made sense. See, like, he didn't just transform into a rhino for no reason. Like, his skin
Exactly.
just changed, and then all of a sudden, he just got a horn. Like, what? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think that someone watched it at the end and said, this makes total sense, because they had a good idea. The idea is there.
Mm.
And they just did not deliver.
Now, later, never. Now means you got to go see it right now before it gets ruined or spoiled. Later means you can wait till it's at home and you can stream it. And never means just skip it altogether. Brandman, what you giving Kraven?
I'll give it a later, and
Okay.
it's a later as in, like folding laundry, nothing else is on, or you need some ASMR. It's one of those types, This is much, much later.
Yeah.
It's
Like
especially now
free
that
on TV later.
when it's
like
free
that.
on TV later, yeah. Like on TNT one afternoon or something.
That's exactly what I was thinking. TNT or a sci-fi channel.
Sci-fi, I know FX shows a lot of the a lot of the
Yeah,
villain-verse movies.
Yeah.
So it's a later,
Okay.
very low tier later.
Yeah, the FXX. Yeah. Exactly.
Mhm.
What are you giving it, Brian?
Oh, it's definitely the lowest tier of later. It's not a never. It's just the lowest tier of later. So you can explain why they did such a bad job. Like, you need to watch it to be able to explain where they went wrong. Because as I said, it's kind of like having an IKEA project and you put it together and then you finish it and you got like 15 screws and all these little like brackets and things. You said, what do I need all these things for? They must give me extra. And then the table falls apart. And you're like, how? That's it. So, but you don't want to throw away the whole thing. You just want to try to fix it. So that's why it's a later.
Yeah. If you are watching on the replay, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about Kraven the Hunter, where you kind of rate it. Would you like it? Do you hate it? Give us some thoughts of what you thought about the movie. And make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and come and join us when we talk about movies, TV shows, other nerdy stuff. We have a lot of fun in our live shows, so come be part of them with us. And if you are live, stick around because we're going to get into your comments right now.